welcome back to March Payne's Midlife Dolly Crisis. And with my new endeavour to try and add a bit of uniqueness to my doll collection, I want to introduce you today to this doll. So this is Rune. She's described as a little witch vinyl collectible doll. She was created by Isabel and I will put all of her details down in the description box below. She is a limited edition doll. There are two different versions of this doll. Essentially, they are the same base doll, but they have different outfits. So this one, I think is called Seattle Grunge, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll put a link down to the website where I got this doll from anyway, and then you can see the two different outfits. The other outfit was a lot more simpler than this, which is why I kind of chose this one, because I thought it was nice to have more sort of like layering. I did like the other doll. The other doll has loose, straight hair, whereas this one obviously got like, her hair is plaited. But obviously you'll see that when we have a look at the doll. But I wanted to show you the box first, because it is a work of art in itself. So obviously this is the front of the box here. So this is an image of what the doll looks like there. And obviously her name is here. On the sides we've got this kind of like witchy symbols, I suppose. We've also got obviously the name Rune, and we've got the same information here, Little Witch Vinyl Collectible Doll. And then on the back here, as well as this adorable cat, who apparently is called Beelzebub, or Bub for short, we have a bit of information about the doll. So if you wanted to pause the video there, you could probably give that a read. Essentially, her name is Rune Silverfrost, and she's kind of like a witch in training. Her grandmother, Marcella, who's 178 apparently, is kind of like looking after her and sort of training her up to be like a proper witch. So that is that. Now, I have actually taken her out of the box already, but I will show you the inside of the box, just so you know it's got inside. So here we go. So it's got kind of like all the kind of the witchy symbols again in there. Essentially, she was attached in the box by ties that were around her neck and around her feet at the bottom there. So there were no Kimbo tags or anything like that in her at all. She was literally just kind of like tied in as you kind of would have expected. So that is the box. The box is actually lovely, and it's a really nice thick cardboard and everything. And obviously, you know, it's a collector's doll, so you will keep the box with this. She could easily be put back in the box with all kind of, you know, accessories and stuff like that you might buy for her as well. So it's good to kind of store her in there maybe. But yeah, so that is the box. Let's have a look now at the actual doll herself. Okay, so here's the doll. And I am going to show you her next to some other dolls, just so you know what kind of size she is. Also, I've got this tape measure. No, not tape measure. I've got this ruler. Okay, so first I'm going to show you with the ruler how tall she is. So this is centimetres. I would say she's about 24 centimetres. So she's obviously smaller than a Barbie, and I can bring a Barbie in. So this is kind of like a regular size Barbie. So she is a lot shorter than her. So I'd say kind of body size height wise, she's probably close to a liquor body, and in that sense also a Blythe body. But the dimensions of her body are going to be a lot different to the dimensions of a Lickitung body. And we will actually undress Rune and have a look and see what her body is actually like underneath her clothes. So that is the Lickitung next to her. And if we bring in an LOL surprise doll, again, this isn't actually far off either. So these clothes might actually fit, because the dimensions of her body is probably not that dissimilar, with like the bigger hips and the kind of smaller chest and thicker thighs and stuff, which are more in keeping with what Rune is as well. So clothes from her may be an option to fit her, but obviously it will depend on the actual clothes that you've got. So let's have a closer look at her. I'm going to bring her face to the camera so you can have a good look. Her face, I do really like. She's got a kind of a coral lip, which is sort of two-toned from the upper lip to the bottom lip. She does have some blushing on her cheeks as well. Her eyes are kind of like, not really half-lidded, but they're not fully open, which again, I do quite like. And she does have quite large eyes. She's also got really nice eyebrows there as well, and there are sort of details on those. She does have eyelashes, which are also painted on, and also eye makeup on the upper lids there as well. Mould-wise, she does have little ears on either side of her, and if you want to have a quick look, that is obviously her kind of profile there. So her hair is this really beautiful turquoise colour. Obviously, it's come in a plait. Unfortunately, when I was getting her out, I did manage to sort of dislodge the bow, but I can probably retie that. To be honest, I'm not sure whether I would keep it plaited up. I do quite like the idea of it being loose, which is what the other version of this doll had. But as I say, I kind of mainly got this one because the sort of the cloth layering I really liked, so that was why I got this version of the doll. If we go further down, so obviously she's wearing this sort of check. It's meant to be, judging by the picture on the actual box, I think it's meant to be more of a sort of a shirt slash jacket. It's got these little buttons down the front, and it is fastened with Velcro there. So we can actually take that off, and we can actually probably have a closer look at the jacket. The sleeves are very long on her jumper, but if we move that out of the way, we can have a quick look here. So obviously there is all the kind of the finished edges inside. They've all been sort of overlocked or serged. There are no kind of raw edges on the outside of the coat either. Maybe I'm going to move her because... Okay, I've moved the doll for the moment because the camera seems to want to zoom in on her and focus on her rather than this. So, this is the outside of the coat. There are no raw edges at all. We've got a little collar up here. Everything is really nicely sort of sewn up. And as I say, we've got these cute little buttons on the front there. There's nothing really to show you on the back. So if we put this to one side, and then we'll bring our girl back. So here she is. So she's got this sort of like oversized jumper, I would say, in this sort of grey khaki colour. We've got a kind of a black collar at the top and also this black sort of ribbing around the bottom. Now, I'm not sure if it's meant to look as if she's wearing another top underneath, which is possible, and also like got a black skirt sticking out the bottom as well. The sleeves are very long. When I remove this, you will start to see what the shape of her body is like. Again, there are no raw edges on this at all. And we have Velcro on the back, which does it all up. So I'm going to remove that. And that is what the inside of that looks like. So again, everything is kind of sewn up quite nicely. So that is that. So this is kind of like, it looks bigger on her. It's meant to look grungy. That was kind of the whole point of it. So that is the jumper. So underneath the jumper, she has got a little sort of like a vest top on in white. And then she's got these sort of shorts really in a really hot pink. And obviously she's got on her legs, she's got sort of stockings slash sort of long socks, and they're in a really nice sort of green colour. And then we have the sort of trainers at the bottom, or sneakers, which are white with red. And again, these are really nicely made. They've obviously got like proper laces and everything on there as well. So you can kind of see from this what kind of shape her body is. So she does have wider kind of hips, thicker thighs. Her legs are a lot bigger than her body are. So she has a lot of leg, and then her kind of torso is a lot sort of smaller there. Obviously she is not overly articulated. She essentially has got a head which turns from side to side, her arms which kind of go back and forth. Obviously she's got quite big hands as well there, so you've kind of got to be careful if you're like changing her into different clothes. Her legs will basically move at the hip, so they will move backwards and they will move forwards like that. It does mean that sitting down is possibly an issue for her, but she is more of kind of like, I guess, a display doll anyway, so most of the time she will be standing up. And because of these shoes, possibly, she will kind of stand up by herself, depending on how you've got her sort of balance. I did actually want to have a look at her feet, because I haven't actually done that yet. So I'm going to remove the sneakers. Okay, so her feet are, I would say they're pretty much flat. They're certainly not sort of high heel feet, but there is a bit of shape to them. Obviously they are quite big. I don't really know what other shoes might fit her. Possibly sort of like some that might fit, certain BJDs might fit. I know that if you buy one of these dolls and you email Isabel, she will send you a file for you to make sort of 3D shoes out of, but obviously you would need a 3D printer to be able to do that. But also I know there is a sort of a print on demand service, which is probably easier if you're in the States than over here, because obviously they've then got to be posted out to you, which is available to also order the sort of special shoes which the doll will fit into. That said, there's possibly other shoes that you can use, but as I say, I've not really investigated this yet because I've literally only really had the doll for a very short time. So let's get the clothes back on her. Okay, so I haven't fully put all her clothes on. I've left her with her jumper on and not put the shirt jacket back on. So what do you think of her? I'm super happy with her. Her kind of whole sort of mood and aesthetic, I kind of feel very in tune with. I kind of like the sort of the witchy vibes that she's giving off. I also kind of like the sort of grungy, oversized clothes that she comes with. I am looking forward to redressing her, so it will be quite interesting to see what works and what doesn't work. Also, you know, I can try and make stuff for her as well, which I think will be a bit of a challenge, but an interesting challenge as well. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. Let me know if you would consider getting her, maybe. As I say, I am going to put links in the description box to her so you can go and have a better look. I should mention at this point, I'm not affiliated in any way with Rune, but obviously it is nice to support, you know, an independent artist. So please like the video if you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and please share the video if you know anyone else who would like this kind of witchy content. And I will see you in the next video. So until then, take care. Bye.